Perceptive Reader, welcome to my Dark to Light Academia library page on the Jamespoeartistry.online website. I'm glad you have most likely saved it in your favorites because, of course, it is a favorite of mine. Hope you enjoy the coffee shop music and the highlighted poetry, features and other personality along those lines. Here is something for you, Perceptive Reader, that I would like to add with this page as a mainstay, if you will. It's older, but I wanted to actually take another opportunity to grab a book from out of my own library, a physical copybook, library copybook, but in this case, no, this is actually another one of those books that I've had for years now, and it stays in my bookshelf that I wanted to share with you. Now, this book involved quite a few authors, and it is copyrighted. I can share that with you, where the author of this book is more than happy to actually give you permissions to share an account from here or there if you like. But all you have to do is ask for permission. And that gives me an opportunity to reference my many thoughts that I've been making over the past year about plagiarism and attribution. Okay. And the only extra statement that I will add to that is no matter, who the individual happens to be, once the individual really does gain knowledge that they are taking some intellectual property from you that you have requested and you truly desire and may be even in need of what the price is of what you requested. And any human being who still, even knowing that just by contacting you, can actually probably get permission, but decides that you are not worthy enough for them to contact you in one way or the other, I'm telling you, in my opinion, that is still a very sad human being. And that is something that if it really is important, then it'll be a judgment between you and that person, between God. Jehovah God is the true God's name in heaven. But loving your neighbor, we don't have to treat each other like that. And that's what I'm going to say leading into this book that I'm talking about right now. First, I'm going to actually read the profile of the different authors that are listed. I'm just going to say like author number 1, author number 2. Why? 1, it'll just give you something to think about. And 2, these authors really are from around the world. And I just don't want to slaughter their names because some of them really do have more than a couple of syllables in their name. You see what I'm saying? And by you actually going and looking up the book yourself, then you can actually play match, if you will, the author with the profile. And it won't be hard to do because, as I mentioned, I'm just reading them still in order. Well, who are these authors? And what is this book about? Well, first, let's just go ahead and cover the authors. Author number 1 is based in India and was a journalist for over 40 years. He has written on many topics for several publications, but was a business journalist in the latter part of his career with the ABP group of publications. Since his retirement, he has immersed himself in research on spirituality and the journey of the soul. He contributes his thoughts on the same in his read section on this website that is listed. Let's move on to number 2. Author number 2 is a columnist, writer, and television professional, currently based in Toronto. He spent 8 years in New York as senior editor, U.S. for Network 18. The group, which includes the news channels CNN and IBN and CNBC TV 18. He has worked with leading Indian dailies like the Hindu Times. He has also edited 6 collections of satire published by Rupa. Author number 3 is a native Detroiter who loves writing, networking, and cultivating great relationships. She wrote her first poem when she was 5 years old, and it consisted of just 2 words. I dream. She believes that with persistence and passion, dreams can be transformed into goals which become reality. Her novel Letter to Sanya, which delves into the emotionally charged issues of adoption, is currently being reviewed and considered for publication. I'm going to stop right there. Now, those are just 3 authors that I mentioned. There are more. We will pick up on number 4 of the authors in the next podcast. And once again, I just still want to welcome you to my Dr. Light Academia Library. And the book, where I tell you what, I want to give you a cliffhanger. I still won't mention the book, but you may still be able to find out what book it is just by those 3 authors that I mentioned. But in part 2 of this podcast, I will name several more authors. Okay. And then near the end, in this probably like 4-part series, I'll end up sharing with you the name of the book that they all worked on together. You'll figure it out way before then. Anyway, thank you. And again, welcome to my Dr. Light Academia Library page. If you saved it in your favorites, I guarantee you, you will be able to enjoy a lot of what is featured on this page. Only at Jamespoeartistry.online. Have a wonderful day.